being cringe on social media is why you will succeed. Most people, they hold themselves back, and that is why they don't even post in the first place. They're afraid of what other people are going to think of them. They're afraid of the judgment. And even now, in this moment, I don't want to be as loud as I can possibly be because of that prison that society has cast upon us to be weary of other people's perceptions and to not want to be judged badly. And you can go down a whole rabbit hole about why that is, how in the old caveman tribal days, if you were judged weirdly, you'd be kicked out and you would die. And so people developed that evolutionarily in order to survive, to fit in so that you could have that community and tribal resources. But nowadays, it's not like that. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks. But that is still something that is engraved in us. And if you can internalize that and break free from that, and if you want to post content, that is what is going to allow you to do that, to not be afraid of being cringe, because people will say that you are cringe until it works. And then they'll say, oh, I always believed in you. Or, oh, I always saw you were doing something, I knew it. But until you actually start to do well, they will say, oh, he's cringe. And even once you do well, they'll say you're cringe too. But that's because they're not doing it. No one is going to hate on someone doing worse than them. And that is something that is still to this day hard for you and me. That is something I really need to work on. I'm only making this video because I'm in an empty room. And I would like to be like this and talk like this out in the regular part of the gym. There is levels to it to where you don't want to be bothering people, and it is a public gym. So, I hate when someone's like super loud talking right next to me and I can like hear it through my headphones. So there is levels to it as well, but even the act of recording yourself in the gym is something that felt a little weird at first. And even now, if I'm trying to do a shirtless workout, it can feel a little weird if I'm trying to record myself shirtless. But ultimately, I still do it because I know it's going to make good content, and that's what you have to do. All right, I'm not digging these dumbbell overhead extensions. I thought I could do them. That's not good. My wrist is not perfectly good for that. I'm going to try one more time. If you're feeling an injury, you never do any workout that tweaks that injury. Maybe if I do it slow. Anyways, you have to build, it's like a skill, it's a muscle. You have to build up that ability to not care about what other people think, because at the end of the day, they don't really care about you. No one really cares about you except for the few people that are close to you. Even as I'm recording this, I'm weary of anyone that is like listening, but at the end of the day, they don't fucking matter. And it's true, and everyone's conscious of that, and logically you understand that. But it's still that evolutionary aspect that's engraved in us to want approval from the community. And so when you can actually embrace that, it's not that you have to be cringe, it's that you have to not care if people think you are cringe. And once you can understand that and just post whatever you want, record when and where you want, those are some of the best videos. People recording in public, people doing interviews, people talking in public. But very few people actually end up doing that, myself included, because it is harder to do. It's hard enough to just talk to a camera on your own and then post that. But to do all that in like a busy public place as well, it's harder. But that's what it's going to take if you really want to make it with content. That is one of the deeper aspects. The first aspect is just consistency. You need to post consistently. But the deeper aspect is becoming that more authentic version of yourself and more vulnerable version of yourself. And cringe, you can say cringe. And I've been called cringe thousands of times over these like 5 years that I've been posting. And usually, it's like, of course, there's always like a comment or something that can get to you, but you build up that resistance to it, that thick skin to where it doesn't matter anymore. I've received thousands of hate comments over the years. I always like to say I received more hate in these like 5 years than both of my parents combined in their entire lifetime, because it's very easy to receive hate when you're posting a lot online. But at the end of the day, it is worth it. It's worth it if that's something that you really want to do. If you want to post content, that's what's going to get you there, and that's what you need to be doing. I just had that thought on my mind, and I wanted to get that out and express that in a longer form video. So let me know what you guys think of this. Leave a comment. Much love, and as always, let's get these gains.